The Bulls draft potential superstar Caleb Wilson out of North Carolina. The Blackhawks make a huge, huge trade, and we're previewing the Bears cornerback room. All next.
Yeah, Northside noise, Shot City day, Joey Sam, lock it in, wind blow all the spin, come talk, yeah, tap in, and with a heartbeat, couple quick.
Welcome to the Shy City Den. I am Joey Glickman alongside Sam Van Cleve. We're breaking down the biggest stories, biggest games, and all things Chicago sports. If it's happening in Chicago, we're talking about it. We have a massive, massive show ahead of us. And we're not talking baseball at all, pretty much, which is hard to believe in the heart of the summer. We have a huge trade. The Bulls have a major, probably superstar on their hands in Caleb Wilson. And we're talking about the Bears cornerback. Real quick, we'll touch on the Cubs and Sox real quick. Cubs won the first game of the 4-game series against the Mets. 9-6. It really wasn't close the entire game. They just gave up a bunch of runs in the ninth. Edward Cabrera left the game with probably a pulled groin. Not good. We're probably expecting him to be out for this foreseeable future. Thank God Matthew Boyd's coming back. And then the White Sox win the game 2 of a 3-game series against the Guardians to take sole possession of first place in the AL Central. Hard to believe that. But that's pretty much all we're going to talk about. We'll talk about, obviously, more Cubs Sox next episode. But we start with the NBA. Caleb Wilson is a Chicago Bull out of North Carolina with the 4th overall pick. This is a move that moves the needle to getting close to contenders. I wouldn't say just yet they're contenders. They're probably pretty far away, but this is a right step into hopefully soon enough being contenders.
Absolutely. And I mean, we couldn't have started the draft better. This is the guy we were kind of zoning in on the past few weeks with the number 4 overall, as the number 4 was pretty cookie cuttered out, I'd say, for the past month or so with AJ DeBansa, DP, Boozer, and of course Caleb Wilson. As you said in the IG post, I think we have a home run pick in Caleb Wilson. Just the freakish raw athletic ability is absurd with him. His ability to stretch the floor, play great defense, protect the rim. It's really an incredible skill set, such a rare skill set, especially at his size. He's 6'9", 6'10", really lengthy guy. I would like to see him kind of develop a 3-ball as he gets, more into the league, and I'm sure he will. That's definitely going to be something he's going to have to work on, is improving that 3-point stroke year in and year out. But absolute home run pick for the Bulls, and obviously the start of the Bryson Graham era. And that got started, yesterday as we made a move pretty much for free for Nick Claxton. I love the move. He's a rim running center. And as I said on Instagram, it kind of feels like the Bulls have been neglecting the center position for years on end now. And we finally land, I won't say big time, but athletic, rim running, rim protecting center. It's going to be fun to see how he fits in with this young core right now. But overall, really pleased with how this night went. Caleb Wilson, you get to pair him up with our forwards are looking freakish with Matas and Caleb Wilson now.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a huge NBA guy myself. I would say that's more up your alley. I'm definitely a huge college basketball fan. I watch it religiously. And what stuck out to me was that UNC Duke game with Caleb Wilson. Really, the entire country took notice of that. He went absolutely off that game at UNC. Remember that buzzer beater? They came back. I think they were down like 20 at one point. They stormed back, hit a buzzer beater. He's a dog. He's a dog. This guy has the potential to be one of, if not the best player in this draft, and that is crazy to say with how deep this draft actually is. And for him to fall to 4, I wouldn't say he fell to 4, but like it's just so top heavy. Like the top 6 picks were really, 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 really good players, and Caleb Wilson is a great player. Has a potential to be a great player. Definitely has a high ceiling. So we'll see what happens. It's a great pick. It's a home run pick, slam dunk pick, whatever analogy you want to use. Use it because this guy's a dog.
Yeah, and this core is really starting to look exciting too. As a 15, we swung a little pick. Dalen Swain, guard forward from Texas again, another freakishly athletic guy. Kind of a it'll be interesting to see the role he plays with us, whether he's more a guard or a forward. I could see him kind of being a more sizable guard. He is I think 6'6", so he's got a big frame. He's an extremely good downhill player. I think he was sub 30% from 3 in college, so we obviously want to see that number go up with us in Chicago. But again, he averaged, I think, let me pull the stats up. I think 17 a game, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and over a steal and a half per game this past season at Texas. Spent his first 2 years at Xavier, then transferred to Texas. And he was SEC, I think, all first comer of the year or newcomer of the year or something like that in the SEC. So I'm really impressed. He was an extreme riser this past week in draft boards for the NBA draft. So both Caleb Wilson and Dalen Swain, I'm both huge fans of both of those picks.
Yeah, I know nothing about Dalen Swain. I kind of remember him when Texas made that run last year.
He's a slasher that can play great defense. But yeah, he's a freak athlete. Yeah, great defender.
6'7", 211. Yeah, he seems like a good player. It seems like can play multiple positions.
Yeah, he's going to stretch the floor for us. He's really makes his presence known on fast breaks. He's going to run the floor well. Average like his whole career.
So he started at Xavier.
First 2 at Xavier.
Transferred to Texas. Averaged 17 points a game. That's
he's good, man.
That raises some eyebrows, Sam. That's something that can. We need some scorers on the Bulls. That's for sure.
And we just need some pure basketball players. But if we're running him at the 2, I feel like we can have a pretty lengthy lineup with Claxton running the 5, maybe Matas the 4, or Wilson the 4, either vice versa. Have them at the 3-4, Simons at the 1, and then slot a big guard in at the 2. Like that's a pretty lengthy lineup right there, and a pretty freakishly athletic lineup as well.
Right, and again, it's I don't know much about the NBA, but from what I'm hearing is that this is a slam dunk home run pick, and I am super excited to honestly watch more Bulls games. Kind of bring me back in on the Bulls.
Seriously, dude, it's been a minute.
Bulls fan, and yeah, I'm loving the pick. Let's move on to a huge night for the Chicago Blackhawks as they acquire defenseman Bowen Byram and Jordan Greenway in exchange for the Hawks' first-round pick this year, number 4 overall, the second-round pick that they got from the Islanders, which is number 45th overall, and defenseman Louis Crevier. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I despise this trade. I think this is a awful trade. Bowen Byram, look. He had a good year last year with Buffalo. Buffalo had a nice year last year. They made the playoffs. But is he really worth a number 4 overall pick? He had 42 points as a defenseman last year. Not bad. He's going to control your first power play unit, without a doubt. But I'm just not loving it. It's a very, very steep price for a lot of questions. Like I said, he's probably going to be your top defenseman. That's not saying much with the decor that the Hawks currently have. With a mix of Vlasic, Levshinov, Crevier's gone, so maybe Renzel and a bunch of guys. So they really do have a surplus defenseman right now in Rockford and in the NHL. I don't like this trade. I know, Sam, you're not really into hockey as much as I am. It's all good. I could take it from here, but you don't have to chime in if you want to. But hey, this guy has had a lot of mental health issues the past couple of years, so he's definitely an easy guy to root for. But just giving up number 4, and I get it. It's the top 3 picks, and then it's a deep drop off number 4 and beyond. I get that. However, it's still a number 4 overall pick. There's still going to be a good player at number 4 overall, and to give up a guy, and to give up that pick for a guy who has a lot of question marks is concerning. It's concerning. I honestly would rather have them trade that number 4 overall pick for Matthew Nyes. That would have been a better option. I'm not saying he's completely off the table. However, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And Jordan Greenway, on the other hand, is just a throw-in. I honestly, going into his draft class, I thought he was going to be very good. He played World Juniors a few years back, got drafted by the Wild. He's not lived up to his hype. He's definitely a throw-in. He'll definitely be a 4th liner, maybe a healthy scratch. Honestly, maybe start Rockford. But I don't like this trade. I don't like this trade. Sam, do you have any thoughts on this trade? I know you probably had no idea who Bowen Byram is until about 2 hours ago.
First time I've heard of him, dude. Like I said, I'm no hockey sharp, so I texted my hockey sharp, and he said it was an absolute head scratcher. You know who you are if you're listening to this, so shout out to my hockey sharp. But yeah, he was saying, like, man, we could have had a defenseman at 4 with an even higher ceiling than the dude we just traded for. So if he's saying it's a head scratcher and you're kind of under the same impression, then I guess I am as well. So what are we doing, man?
Why can't we make a big splash?
Is it time to call for who is it? Kyle Davidson, the GM of the Hawks?
Why can't we make a big splash? It's been so long since this club has been good. They have not been good in 10 years, pretty much, until it was the downfall was getting swept by Nashville in 2017. But I mean, they need to make a splash, whether it's Matthew Nyes or throwing everything at Austin Matthews potentially. I know you probably know who Austin Matthews is. Please tell you.
Absolutely, I know he's got a deadly wrister. That's all. That's about all I know. But I do know free agency starts July 1st, and we better get Bedard some running mates. Because we can't waste number 98. We can't waste number 98.
No,
can't do that.
To be honest, Sam, there's not really that many good free agents out there. That's why the trade market is very, very
expensive.
It's just not deep at all. And it seems like I heard the Hawks are talking to defenseman John Carlson. I don't know if that's off the table once they acquired Bowen Byram, but I feel like they need a veteran back there. Here, I'll pull up the free agents now.
If free agency is slim, that would explain kind of why we paid a hefty price for this defenseman.
Like, the biggest name is Patrick Laine. My guess is he'll go back to Montreal. Anders Lee. Mikheyev is a free agent with the Hawks. I probably expect him to be gone. Rasmus Anderson, defenseman. I don't see him coming here after that trade. Mason Marchment honestly could be a good fit for the Hawks in July. Honestly, I'm calling it. I'm saying the Hawks are going to sign Mason Marchment. Matt Zuccarello is a free agent, but he's old. It's just not deep. It's not a very deep class. So we'll see what happens. I'm rooting for the guy. I'm rooting for him to be great. And look, he's still young. Like, he's still 23 years old. He's our age. So a lot of potential still to be had, but it's just, again, a lot to give up. So, moving on for the third segment is previewing the Bears cornerback room. I'm going to read you the depth chart, Sam. It starts off with Jalen Johnson, man in the middle. Jalen Jones, Terrell Smith, and then you got Tyreek Stevenson, Malik Muhammad, who they just drafted from Texas, Kyler Gordon, you know his name pretty well, made a glass Kyler Gordon, Josh Blackwell, special teamer really, and then
special team gamer right there, baby.
It gets pretty thin after that. Terrell Smith is back. Hey, I'm going to be honest.
I'm real excited for Terrell Smith, man. I cannot lie to you.
No, same with me. Let me tell you, this, barring more injuries to this room, if Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, all these guys stay healthy, this can be a top 5 cornerback room in the league.
Absolutely, it can. 100%. And we've talked about this before numerous times. There's clips up on our social media. The X factor in this group far and away is Kyler Gordon, because when he's on the field, this whole unit on defense is so different. We are able to just be, I think, more aggressive. I think we're able to blitz more with Kyler. I think we're able to throw more disguised looks at offenses because of his skill set. He's such a unique player to be able to blitz off the edge and go and guard your top slot, as I mentioned before. But I think Kyler is obviously the X factor for this group, and his health is so vital for this group moving forward. But moving on, I also think this is a make or break season for Tyreek Stevenson. So I was kind of upset with his playing time down the stretch last year, as we kept giving Deshaun Wright the nod over him, and I kind of think that was more disciplinary with Tyreek Stevenson and just not being up at the pro level that we want. And obviously Deshaun Wright had a great year with all the turnovers and whatnot, but I just didn't think Deshaun Wright was a good coverage cornerback, and that kind of showed. Yeah, it kind of showed late down the stretch last year. So I really do think it's a make or break year for Tyreek Stevenson. He's playing for a second contract this year. And then obviously, I mentioned it before we kind of started here, but I'm really excited to get Terrell Smith back, because he's a big body frame for a DB. He's like 6'1", 6'2", really lengthy for a defensive back. He's got a great frame. Can really get up in your grill and play some press man. But overall, really like this group. I'm pleased with the addition of Malik Muhammad from Texas. Again, another really good press man-to-man guy. Got some great tape against Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate from Ohio State. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what DA can do with this group, and kind of disguise everybody and throw some crazy looks at some teams.
Right, and honestly, one of, if not the biggest battle in training camp will be someone like Terrell Smith versus Malik Muhammad.
Even Tyreek Stevenson. Yeah, you could probably throw him in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And Terrell Smith had an unfortunate break in the preseason last year, tearing his ACL. And it kind of took a huge blow to this Bears room. But getting him back is huge, man. It's so massive.
Just a big depth piece.
It's just a huge depth piece. And, again, you lose Nahshon Wright to the Jets, but having him back and having Malik Muhammad there, it presents a massive, massive depth piece. And I feel like they definitely have more depth. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think they have more depth this year than they did last year?
At DB corner,
Yes.
yeah, 100%. I mean, last year when Jalen went down. Obviously, we didn't have Terrell Smith from preseason
Who
and
was
Kyler
it?
going down.
Who was like
This
this
group was so shallow, dude. It was. I mean, we had CJ,
right.
GJ,
Had to sign him.
Nashawn Wright. Dude, I don't even. We had literal
Jalen
practice squad
Jones,
DBs out
they
there. Jalen
re-signed.
Jones was playing corner. Elijah Hicks was out
Right.
there. It was just a
Blackwell.
really. Yeah, Blackwell was even out. Like
Right.
it's bad when we have like special team gunners playing
100%.
DB. Like on
These guys are dropping
every
like
down snap.
flyers. Like
Yeah.
seriously.
It was brutal, man. It was,
Yes.
and we were still turning the ball over at the highest rate in the league with Al Harris University. So
Right.
I'm looking
And the
forward
main-
to see what
the
this
main-
group can do at full strength.
And the main question is, can Kyler Gordon stay healthy for this group? He needs to play a full season. He needs to be out there. He needs to be available. Same with Jalen Johnson. Like he needs to. And Jalen came out with a quote today, like saying how motivated he is. Big year for him too. Like if Jalen has a bad year, you can see honestly both of them being gone after this year. Just with the contract situation and all that. So huge year for both those guys. I fully expect the turnovers to still be there with Al Harris still here. I know Al Harris isn't getting the turnovers himself, but him being there is huge. But I do expect both the corners and the safeties, which we talked about last week, to continue to be top 5 in takeaways next year, 1,000%.
Yeah, and this DB group may be one of the more polarizing groups in the league, I would say, because if the linchpin or the kingpin, I would say, Kyler Gordon can't stay healthy, then this unit could struggle because then you're going to slot a guy into nickel like Josh Blackwell or I don't know, Terrell Smith, maybe a smaller guy, Elijah Hicks could fit into nickel. But I really don't see anyone else on this team who can play nickel as effective as Kyler. And then going off of your point, we really need a full season from Jalen Johnson, and we really need him to return back to the form where JJ was in 2023 and 2022 and prior. Because if we get that lockdown version of Jalen, where he's locking down on the opposing team's one on a weekly basis, it's going to be really tough on opposing teams because we spoke on it last week, we have the revamped safety group. And obviously, if we get more push up front and from the D-line, this DB group will be even better.
Exactly. But super pumped for this secondary this upcoming season. Before we get out of here, I guess we can touch quickly on the Cubs,
Let's do it.
upcoming in the Sox. Cubs have a big doubleheader tomorrow, 2 with the Mets. Not really sure who the probables are for the Cubs. I'm assuming it's Shota and Javier Assad. And then Nolan McLean goes for the Mets for game 1, and then Sean Manaea goes for game 2. And then my guess is probably going to be Ben Brown against Freddie Peralta on Thursday, unless you want to give Ben Brown an extra day rest to go against Mizorowski on Friday. I personally would rather go Ben Brown versus Mizorowski on Friday. But those are the pitching probables for the Cubs. Now you can definitely play, get greedy and see if you could take 3 out of 4 from the Mets. So we'll see what happens there. The White Sox won again tonight. A gritty win.
Man, the Sox are rolling right now,
The
man.
final score was 2-1. Okay, so we have breaking news.
Live on the show? Breaking news?
It's not positive. Cubs starter Edward Cabrera returns to the IL again with a left hamstring strain. Cubs manager Craig Counsell announces he will undergo an MRI Wednesday to determine the severity of the injury. Craig Counsell said, "We're in a rough spot."
Yep. That about does it for me. I mean, dude, he got carted off on a golf cart. This guy's he's not going to be on the IL for 10 days. He's not going to be IL for 10 to 15 days, dude. This is a season altering injury to Edward. If you see how he walked off the field, which he didn't, he was on a cart. This season is over for him. It's been wraps for this Cubs team. We don't have pitching. We're wasting. At least at least Pete's a superstar. He's going to have another 30 season. No one can take that away.
Jenkins isn't walking through that door. Rick Sutcliffe isn't walking through that door. Jake Arrieta's not walking through that door.
Neither is Greg Maddux.
Is Greg Maddux, Mark Pryor, Carlos Zambrano. You can name all the names you want. It's been a rough year for Edward Cabrera. We'll see what happens.
Fans.
My guess is maybe he'll return in August. Maybe. I don't think he will. I think his season's probably over.
Yeah.
But now I guess we need 2 starters at the deadline. So there's that. But I guess going on the White Sox, the White Sox won the night. They go for the sweep tomorrow against the Guardians. At what time's the game tomorrow? 1:10 as Tanner Bybee takes on Eric Fetty. If they can win tonight or win tomorrow and get the sweep, that'd be massive for them. Go up 2 games against Cleveland. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That might be the show. We may never see him again.
Oh man, what a flop of a early acquisition that was in Edward, man. It's just so frustrating. In the clubhouse. Yeah, just forget it, dude. Just pack it up. Get ready for next season.
Why are you doing the splits, dude? What are you doing?
Man. Yeah, let's get the troops ready for next season. Let's clear some of the money on the books. Let's get Hap out of here. Let's get Say out of here. Revamp the outfield. Get some new contracts in here, and we're off and running in 2027, Joe.
All right. Well, that will do it for the Shy City Den. I'm sorry to end on such a negative note, but here we are. We're gonna be back on Sunday night, recapping the Cubs' big series up north in Milwaukee to hopefully get back in this division. But facing Mizorowski and Kyle Harrison, that might be a tall task. For Joey Glickman, that is Sam Van Cleve. Thank you so much for listening to the Shy City Den.